Who's the greatest basketball player of all time?
You know.
Rinse the producer.
What's going on, guys? It's Tanner here from Tanner Talks, joined here by the Coach Ruck,
What's up?
the legend of St. Joe,
Yeah,
greatest
right.
basketball coach of all time. There goes. So here's my list of top 3 basketball coaches of all time. All right, so we got Greg Popovich at 3, and at number 2 we got Coach K, and at number 1 we got Coach Ruck. So that's just my personal one. I don't want any of y'all to get mad at me, but that's just my personal one. Okay. So, but Coach, how are you doing? How's everything going?
Good. Not much going on right now.
Yeah. How's basketball going? Do you guys have summer workouts or anything?
We did this year.
Yeah.
Had summer league this year, and summer league went pretty well. We got it back at Lafayette, so it was even better.
So when it comes to like basketball, when did your connection to basketball start? Not coaching, but just basketball in general.
Probably when I was about 5 or 6. My dad and brother. My brother always played. He's 6 years older than me. He's always played, and I used to always try to hang with him, and I just played basketball. We did everything because we lived in an apartment complex. So, when kids in an apartment complex, you play everything. You play football,
Yep.
baseball, like basketball. We did it all. And so I just did it with my brother and them. And just my dad was actually pretty good at basketball, and he coached when I was younger. And he actually had a chance to go play in the ABA.
Really?
Yeah.
Overseas?
No, the ABA was before the NBA.
Okay.
He had a tryout, but my brother was being born, so he stayed. He didn't go try out.
Right.
Yeah. So basketball's been a thing in our family, I guess.
Did your brother play basketball growing up, or
yeah. He played. He went to Lafayette and he played there under Coach Mel Clark, and then Coach Steve Neff was there his senior year. That's when he came to Lafayette.
That's Chris's dad?
Yes. Yep.
When it comes to coaching, what made you want to be a coach?
I never did.
You don't want to be a coach?
It just happened. Back when I first started college, I was 19. Carlo, his dad, Big Carlo, came to me and just asked me to coach a team.
R.I.P.
Yep. Asked me to coach a team, his Edison 5th grade team, and sure enough, I did it. I didn't know what I was getting into, but then I started liking it because they were fun. I like dealing with the kids that are the inner city kids and the kids that need stuff.
Yeah.
And it was
don't have everything given to them.
Right.
They need another level of some sort of level of attention that you have to give to them, and some guidance that helps them grow. So when it comes to these kids, or when it comes to coaching kids, would you rather coach younger kids like that really don't understand the game of basketball as well, or would you rather coach a higher level?
Truthfully, I feel like I'm more of a developer than kids, high school kids and stuff. But I don't know. I like younger kids more.
Right.
But I'm happy where I'm at.
Yeah. Well, that's good too, because you're the JV coach, and you was the freshman coach for a while, and you was developing those kids too. All the kids that come in, they think that they know basketball from playing in middle school and stuff like that.
Right.
But freshmen, when you become a freshman, you're kind of teaching them the ways just so they can be up to the varsity level.
Right.
So yeah, it does seem like you do like to develop kids more and things like that.
Well, now this upcoming season, I'm going to be the varsity assistant. I don't even have a team anymore.
Okay. You're just slowly creeping in there.
Yeah,
you're slowly creeping in there.
Just creeping there a little bit,
KB still the head coach?
Yep. KB's a coach, head coach. I'll be the varsity assistant. And Nick Ryan's going to be the JV coach, and Derek Williams is going to be the freshman coach, and Antoine Wilkinson's just going to help wherever he can.
There we go.
So we're good.
On coaching, do you have a certain philosophy that you use or anything? Is there any type of philosophy that you implant in your way of coaching to help players whether it's in basketball or if it's in real life, like, because sports all correlate to real life, in my opinion.
You have to. I mean, basketball wise, like I feel like you have to play hard, and if you can play hard and give it your all, you should be all right. Like I don't know, it's just if you can get them to play hard and play defense, everything else falls into place.
The buckets will come.
The buckets will come, especially if you get stops on defense. Like you're gonna get points, and it's not. I'm not saying I can teach kids how to score, but that's why everybody plays basketball. They want to shoot the ball and make it.
Mm-hmm.
So if you,
yeah, there ain't nothing like getting a bucket.
Right.
I only got a couple of them. Right. Shit,
but
it feels good.
If you tell them to get stops, if you can get that instilled in them, and like, you'll be fine, and just to play hard.
Yeah, I think in high school, not in high school, but I feel like the more sports goes, the more higher the level the sports are. Like the NFL is very offensively heavy. Mm-hmm. Like they want to see fireworks.
Right.
They'd rather see 48-43 than a 13-3 Super Bowl.
Right.
Same thing with basketball. It's so hard to play defense now in the NBA that they call everything. You got Trae Young jumping backwards to get off a jump shot. You got people who are ripping up to where they can get that foul. And it's just hard to play defense. But in high school, it's like as long as you hustle, you play defense, you get stops, and then once those buckets come, like that, I think that's the key to having a great basketball team. And especially in high school, it doesn't really matter. I think it's just coached evenly, like right. To where in the NBA they want to see fireworks and stuff like that.
And I think like if you can get them to commit on defense and you get stops on defense, then you get the run. Like that's what
you get those fast breaks.
And that's what people come to watch. They want to see the fun, excitement, like
the dunks, yeah,
people diving on the floor, and they want to see that stuff.
In basketball, what can you teach as a coach that correlates in everyday life? Like when we talk about philosophy, you're talking about your defense and your hustle, and that creates opportunities for you at the other end. But when it comes to basketball, what do you teach? And it can be people, because what people see on the court is they see you coaching, they see you yelling at players, they see you getting on players' asses, and they can get frustrated, whatever. They go get buckets, whatever.
Right.
But what people don't see is the practice. They don't see waking up in the mornings in the summer. They don't see working out, and that all in general builds character and things like that.
For sure.
What everyone is paying to see is the reward of everything that's at the mountaintop, like everything coming up to the mountaintop. So, in your opinion, what do you think is the most important thing to teach? My bad. In your opinion, what do you think is the most important thing to teach in these players so that they can carry it on for the rest of their lives?
First, you just have to build a relationship with them. Like, if you build a relationship with these kids, they'll respect you. And every relationship's different with each player. Like, you may be able to talk to one different than talk to another one. Like, but if you have relationships and talk to them and let them know that you're there and that you care, you're as a coach, that helps them a lot. And then like, being respectful. If they're respectful, I mean, that carries on to their everyday life then. Because we don't tolerate, like, you're not going to be rude to people. Like, and you're going to respect people and you're going to do everything that we ask you as far as a human being. Like, and that carries, I mean, being respectful as a person, like, that'll carry you a long way. I don't know, just everyday life is just like like I said, just building a relationship with them, and I think that's the huge thing for me. Like, I have to have a relationship with them.
Do you find it harder to get respect from players that come from close to nothing more than the players that came from a lot, or is it vice versa?
Vice versa.
You think the players that come from nothing have more respect?
Yeah, because they have nothing, so they don't want to lose this. So they'll do anything, and they'll try to do anything just to keep basketball part of their life. And I'm not saying the other ones are bad. They don't have to work as hard as
they look at it through a different scope or through a different view.
Exactly.
Same place, different view. Yeah.
Exactly.
They kind of grow up with. They grow up with not saying they get everything, but they grow up with not needing anything, and so the players that don't really grow up with much, they understand the importance of having something, and they know how to value it, and
don't get me wrong, like you'll get those type of players that they don't think they have to come, and once you show them like, hey, you're gonna be part of this, or you're not gonna be part of this, and once they get the understanding of that, then they buy in. Next thing you know, they're calling you for rides, or they're trying to get to the game, get to practice somehow.
Is that another good way to get relationships with kids going? Is offering them rides after practice if they're walking or if they need to walk, or getting them food after, like, I don't know if you guys have like a club like the Touchdown Club, how they provide food and stuff. I don't know if the basketball has that or not.
We have a it's called 3 Point Club. And they kind of like, only time like we really feed them is like on away games, if we're going away games and stuff. But like, we do have team bonding stuff. Like Coach Bristol will take them out. We'll go out to practice, like with the Buffalo Wild Wings and stuff like that. And like last year, they had an Xbox party in the locker room for the night.
Yeah,
like, they stayed till like 10 or 11. They just had, when we ordered food for them, and they ate food and just hung out in the locker room and played Xbox because we got a couple TVs in our locker room. They just hooked them up and they just had Xbox going. And some were upstairs playing. It's just like it was a slumber party, but not a slumber party.
Right, I get what you're saying.
They were just hanging out in the gym. Some was upstairs shooting. Some were downstairs playing Xbox. It was just a fun thing for them. It was like a bonding thing.
Yeah. So everyone knows that being an athlete in school, you have to balance your academics and you have to balance your athletics. As a coach, is it hard to get players to balance both? Because academics are just as important as, their athletics.
Majority of them know. They know that they have to have their academics to play. So they don't actually, like, it's not that hard. Like, you get a couple. You'll get a few kids that think they don't need to do any work at school. And once Coach Bristol or I get that email, like, it's over. Like, and we're telling them, like, hey, you're going to play or you're not going to play. Like, you're going to get these grades up. And if it's a big problem, they won't practice. They'll do their homework or go do their homework somewhere until they get their grades right. So it's a big thing for us. I mean, it's just not sports for us. Like, you're going to do your schoolwork too, and you're going to act right in class.
Right. So you're a coach and you're a teacher too. When you're seeing these kids leave every year and you're getting these new kids in, is that hard for you?
Oh yeah.
Personally, for me, it's hard to. I'm one of the people who it's hard to accept change. I've grown up and, like, from my younger stages, I've always had, like, change, and I've had it so much when I was younger that I don't like it now. I like a set schedule. I like to do everything how I want to do it, and a change can really take a while for me to adjust to. Well, teachers and coaches have to accept change every year when you're having seniors leave and freshmen come in, and you're seeing, like, the cycle. Mm-hmm. So how long have you been coaching and how long have you been a teacher?
This will be my 10th year.
So you've had 10 cycles. Does it get tougher every year? Do you get used to it? How hard is it? I mean,
right now it's getting tougher. The only reason I say it's getting tougher is, like, when I first got into this, I knew kids, and now that I'm getting older, I don't know really kids that are coming up, and then, like, it's just hard to. Then you get kids that come in that you really don't know, because unless you have the opportunity to go to their middle school game or something, like, and get to find out who they are, or unless you meet them through someone else and find out who they are and everything. But it's getting tougher because sports is dying down in St. Joe, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And kids aren't really out there that really want to work like they used to.
Yeah.
Kids are different now. I can say that much.
I can say that kids now definitely are very independent, and they don't want to boast themselves, and they don't want to reach out for different difficulties in life, and it seems like they're more accustomed to a bubble, to where, like, kids when you were starting to coach, they were playing baseball, basketball, football. They were going outside all the time, doing all this, and now it kind of seems like the generation's more independent to themselves, to where they don't really want to reach out to different spaces, and I think it's harder to find them. It's harder to get them to do something, and I think a lot of it has to do with. I'm sure there's a study of anxiety, or what's it called when self-consciousness in kids, and if they grow up and they were bullied, because bullying is only going to get worse and worse, because in my opinion, I don't think the schools do anything about bullying. It's hard to do anything with bullying, but kids don't want to embarrass themselves.
Right.
Like, I remember when I was a freshman or a sophomore, I forgot what year it was, but we was doing like layup lines, but it was for like the practice, it was for to get the summer. You're seeing where the kids are.
Right.
And I remember like reverse layup with my left hand, and I was like, I look like a dumbass doing this, Like, I feel like kids are just too scared to fail now.
They are.
They're too scared to fail, and they don't want to go out and get themselves into something and get better. Like, I'm not the best now at basketball, but I'm way better than when I first picked up and first dribbled in my freshman year. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I don't think kids see the long-term rewards that they get for going out and doing something that's new to them.
It's that, and like they need it to build relationships with. And that's how you get friends, is by playing the sports and being active. But some just, they're like you said, they're in their own bubble now. They want to do their own thing. Like, they don't have to go compete now. They can do whatever they want, like at home, like Xbox. Like, that's a big thing for kids now. Like, playing that, and they don't have to compete against anybody. It's them. Like, they don't have to work for anything. I'm not saying compete.
Right. I get what you're saying.
It's just tough. Like, the numbers are dying down as kids come out. I mean, they won't come out.
A way to boost the numbers would be recruiting, right?
Yes.
So I love hearing about recruiting processes because you hear about, like, Nick Saban. I saw this leaked video with Nick Saban, the Alabama head coach, and he was talking. He's like, if you want to win, then he shows his rings, stuff like that. But it's different when it's younger kids. It's when I'm wearing my football jersey and I'm going to Rubidoux, and things like that. I remember being the little kid seeing the Lafayette football player and being like, oh my gosh, like, I thought, you think they're a celebrity because they're little kids, So, like, can you kind of like go through the recruiting process for the younger, like the elementary schools? Because really, you're going there, you're like, yeah, make sure you come to Lafayette, and you're trying to like instill that in their brain, so where if they have a choice to go to a school, they can pick Lafayette, when they're older.
Like, we can't recruit because we're a public school, so like we just go to the feeder schools, and then.
What are feeder schools?
Like the schools that they would go into, like Lindbergh and Rubidoux, our feeder school. The kids that come to Lafayette from Rubidoux. Oh,
okay. So like Benton's feeder school would be not Spring Garden. It is Spring Garden? Okay.
And then you have, when I first started coaching, I don't know how true it is still, but like Truman was open to all three schools, so they had a choice if they wanted to come. Like, our coaches used to be able to go over to Truman and talk, see if they wanted to come to Lafayette. Like, kids that were interested in Lafayette, they'd come over and talk to them. They'd go over there and talk to them. And kids that were interested in going to Benton, the coaches from Benton would go over there and talk to them. And vice versa with Central. But I don't think they do that anymore for Truman, because I don't know. Because a lot of kids lived on the. Truman's kind of like a school that you can go to Lafayette, Benton, and Central. just where it's located at. And so it was tough for. I mean, other than that, like we just talked to them about our program, and then that's when we go to Ruby and talk to the kids, we just talk to them about our program and tell them things we do and how fun it is, and try to sell our program to them. And then I mean, you get kids that want to come to Lafayette that's not in the district just because of the athletics, like, or they see that they may have an opportunity at Lafayette, then they do it at another school or something. So they choose Lafayette, then once they get enrolled at Lafayette or their stuff's sent to Lafayette from their middle school, that's when we can talk to them. But other than that, we can't talk to another kid unless it's in our feeder program.
Oh, okay. Okay, so you can't just reach out to wherever.
No.
It's really got to be just Rubidoux, honestly.
Honestly.
So what about elementary schools? Like, is there? I know is that too young to start the recruiting process, or is there such thing as being too young to start a recruiting process?
That's why, I would say for the elementary schools, that's why you have team camps or have a summer camp.
Parades.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And in some, like, every once in a while, you invite teams up to your games. Let them come to your games. Like, let's just say Lindbergh 6th grade team, they may come to a Lafayette game. We may say come to a game or whatever, and they'll come to a game and just see what it's like and everything. So it's not a recruiting thing, but you just want to you try to find out who your kids are in the North End,
right?
And you want to build a relationship from you let them come to your open gyms and let them do however they want to come to Lafayette,
This is off topic, but I'm just thinking like open gyms. I remember going to open gyms, and there was this little kid. He was younger than us. He was a lot younger than us, but he was still good. Like he was still good, and his dad would be there too. And his older brother was on varsity. He was cold too. He went to go play basketball for Lehigh, but Camden Bennett, man, like I think it's just crazy to see how when I first met him. Like when I first met him, he's just a little kid, little chubby kid, and he's pretty good now, man. Like I see him.
They're two different players.
As in what?
Just they're two different players. Like
Caleb's more of a scorer.
No.
What's Caleb?
Caleb's more explosive and more athletic, and his athleticism is just unbelievable. Where Camden. He's a bucket. He's a bucket. Like
he's like that.
He's like that. Like for him to get 20 points, it doesn't take him very many attempts to get the 20 points.
So he's efficient.
Oh, very. He's one of our efficient. Like he's very efficient. Like this dude came off the bench for us and was averaging like 16 points. He didn't start for a while for us, like because he was young. He's young still. He's still growing, man. Like, I'm growing as a player.
Yeah.
Like, he's still learning. That's because the biggest thing with Camden is like trying to separate summer basketball and school basketball, and which is totally different.
School basketball, it's sharing the ball, it's getting the whole team going, setting screens, doing shit to set up the next player. Whereas summer ball, it's that
go get your money.
Yeah, go get your buckets. Yeah,
because everybody here is good. So and like. It's hard for him to separate, but he's one kid that he listens.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people had talked like bad about Camden, but like he's not that kid that you think he is.
What would they say about him?
That he's just going to be him. Like he's not going to listen to us, and he's going to do all this stuff, be on his own. Like, but as a coach, you know how to talk to kids and let them get to understand the game. Like he said, like one day he came to me, he's like, man, Coach Ruck, I went back and watched Caleb's films. Like, man, we need to play some better defense. Like those teams were good. Like they played. Like he knows what it takes. It's just hard for him because he's so good. Like he shares the ball and everything. Don't get me wrong, he shares the ball, but it was hard for him to buy in. Because he Camden, like I score, that's what I do. But once you start playing high school season, it's different from summer,
right.
But he adjusted so quick though, like man, he's really good. Like
so he's a bucket.
He's a bucket.
I need to come watch, man. I ain't watch. I just see like his highlights and stuff. Like
he made. I mean, like he's a problem for everybody because like he can step out and shoot it, but like his body.
He can go down.
Man,
go down in the post.
And he rebounds. Like he rebounds, second chance shots. Like he'll rebound, get offense rebound, put it right back up.
He got a vert.
He's not bad. I mean, I don't know what it is, but like he can jump.
He's got like a heavier set body too, like compared to Caleb. Caleb was kind of like not that he was small, but he had that thin muscle build body that was tall. And I don't know how tall Camden is. I saw him at the bowling alley a couple months ago, I think. But he's got like a more stout build to where he could bully somebody down there in the paint. But does he have a handle?
That's not bad. I
yeah.
And that's what, once he understands, like, that's what we tell him, like, if you play the 4 at Lafayette, you're pretty damn good. Like, a lot of 4s are our best players at Lafayette, even since I've been there. Like, and once he started understanding, like, I can go down here and kill them guys. Like, his mid-range and he's got post moves, like, kind of like, but, like, once he understood that, like, he knows, like, now, when the bigger guy comes out on him, he just takes him out, and he can take him to the bucket. Like he's adjusting so well now. Like he's gonna be good.
Is he a junior?
He will be coming into this year. He'll be a junior.
That's tough. You got him for 2 more years too. That's nice. If you had to compare him to an NBA player, would it be Anthony Davis? Who would it be? Zion?
I don't know.
Not that he's on the level. We're not saying these players are on the level of those guys, but comparison trickled down into the high school level compared to other players as well.
You might say Zion, like, because he can get in. He might be a better shooter than Zion.
Yeah,
that's like,
I don't know. I saw Zion go like 4 for 4 in his opening game. No, I'm just kidding.
But like he's a bully like that. He can bully you down low.
Yeah,
and get points down there, like, and get you off the bounce or whatever. Like,
right.
But he's good. I mean, he's a good kid though, man. I like him a lot. I like him.
Yeah.
I mean, both Caleb, me and him, we're cool, and me and Cam will be cool too. Like he's a good kid though.
Good. How long do you see yourself being a coach?
I don't know.
Uh-oh.
I don't know.
You can announce your retirement on this podcast. Nah, I'm just kidding.
I don't know.
What do you think? You think, I'm not even going to say anything. It's on you. What? You don't think you know right now? Have you thought about it, or?
Oh, I've thought about it a lot.
Yeah.
I've thought about it a lot, I want to coach, but, I need a change. I need a change in my life. And I'm not saying that to give up coaching to do that change or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I want something. And I'm not saying I want to leave Lafayette.
Right. Right.
Like,
of course.
Like this, for being a varsity assistant, it's gonna be new to me. Like I don't know how to react to it really, because like I've always had my own team, and like I don't. So this is gonna be a challenge for me. Like maybe KB has more for me to do something else, because it's me and him now. Like
he might mess around and be like, all right, Coach Ruck, I'm gonna have to go up there and record the game.
Screw that. Screw that. I'll hand out water before I go up there and record that game.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Oh man, that's some funny stuff.
But I don't know. I'm just riding it out.
Who is the most talented basketball player you've ever coached?
Ever coach, or like that's been a part of the program?
Man,
because some kids didn't get.
Okay, so if you're the freshman coach and this player comes in and he's on varsity, you're still a part of that player.
That's what I want to know.
I feel like I know who it is.
There's 2. But one's.
There's 2, and I can name them both, and I can put them in order.
Do it.
I know what your order is. Number 2, Caleb Bennett.
Yeah.
Number 1, Diego Bernard.
You're right.
Yeah, he's cold, man.
He's a freak.
They're both good though. I don't want to like put CB down because I put him at number 2, like for your list, because I like them both. And Diego has that exciting playmaking ability, and he's just so athletic. He really reminds me of Russell Westbrook, and that's my favorite player.
That's his favorite player.
Yeah, exactly. He met him. You know he met him.
When he was down in Oklahoma or something?
Yeah, he was at like the Thunder game, and I'm gonna show you this picture, man. Yeah, he literally met Russell Westbrook. I think he went out to eat with him too. Hope I'm not wrong about that, but yeah, he met Russ, and Mario's been jealous since.
Yeah, he's
a freak though.
Caleb. Okay, I do remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I have to put that on the podcast too. But yeah, I'm gonna get him on the podcast too. Hopefully.
He's a celebrity now.
Yeah, he got a sponsorship too.
That's what I'm saying. He's a celebrity now.
What is that thing called? Holler. Shout out Diego, man. Shout out Diego.
Man.
Got a sponsorship and everything. 2-time national champion. Right?
Going for 3.
Should have had 3.
Yep.
COVID, man. That's so tough, man. I'm gonna have to get him on.
Man, them two, him and CB are.
They're special.
They are.
They're special.
But more than that, man, they're class act dudes. Like everybody sees them off on the court and stuff, but man, those dudes they're just guys, man. They're normal guys, like not, and that's what a lot of people separate. Like it's hard for them to separate. Like, yeah, Caleb may be an asshole on the court. Diego may be an asshole on the court, but
they're dogs.
They're dogs. That's when they're supposed to be the assholes.
Yes.
The dicks on the court.
I hate when people. I'm not trying to interrupt you. I just hate when people try to take that on court persona and put it on them outside of the court.
That's what I'm getting.
It's terrible. Like, it's dumb. I hate that. Russ.
They're most respectful dudes, man. Like,
yeah,
they're so respectful, and they know how to act. Like, they're class act dudes, man. They're good for St. Joe.
Yeah,
they both are.
What I like Caleb especially, man. I just, as me, I didn't come from a lot. I'll be honest. Like, I've had I've had tougher upbringing some of the time, and I've had great upbringing at the same time. It's just kind of like I haven't had it all, but I didn't go without. If that makes sense, I wasn't like on the streets with a freaking box, but I also didn't have a brand new car or anything like that. Just things like that.
That's how I lived. That's how I grew up.
Right, like. But seeing someone like a Caleb Bennett, who you saw them how good they were in high school or how good he was, and who he could be as a person, he could be like the I don't want to deal with that, deal with you. I'll have someone else. He could be like that, but really, man, like he's so down to earth. Like he's really really cool. Like
always smile on his face.
Yeah. Like I feel like me having self-conscious issues, I wanted to ask him to get on the podcast, but I was like, man, I feel like he's too good for the podcast. But he got on it, and he treated me like like we're cool, like not brothers, but like we're cool, and he has that way of making everyone he talks to like feel appreciated and feel good about themselves and stuff like that. I feel like that's special, especially for someone who has. He's not a celebrity or anything, but someone who's got a little bit of I don't know how to explain it. I'm
gonna piggyback off that a little bit, but like that's how professional athletes are.
Yeah.
People see them on the court or on the football field or on the diamond, like, and they get this persona about them. It's not them, man. They're normal human beings. Like they want to be just like us. And that's not. And I learned that like when I started working with the Chiefs. When I started working for the NFL, doing the Chiefs home games, like you see them dudes like, "What's up, big dog?" That's what they say to me. Like they're, they're cool. Like, they don't know my name, but they know me.
Yeah, they know
I'm there. Like they see me all the time, so they be like, "What's up, man?" I'm like, "Nothing." Just they're normal dudes, and that's what and that was hard for me to figure out, like, man, these are normal dudes. They don't, and that's why I get it. Like when if I see a celebrity out, I don't want to go ask them for their autograph. Man, that's their time. Like unless they're over there just chilling and they don't mind it, but like if they're over there just chilling and with their girl or their family, leave them alone. Yeah. They want to be normal people. I know it's hard for people, but
yeah, it's hard. It's hard, man. Like I feel like if I saw like. I hate to bring his name up all the time, but man, if I saw Russ out there, bro, I'm gonna have to
different,
reach
though,
out.
I think like
I saw Travis Kelce, like I saw I was working at Five Guys, and Travis Kelce walked in, and I was like, bro, I was working with Dennis, and he said, tell me that's not that Travis Kelce, and I looked at him, and I was like, I think it is. I think it's him because he had his hat down to where you couldn't really see his eyes.
Yeah.
So obviously he doesn't want to be seen. And I don't know if I probably shouldn't have done this. I wasn't too loud about it, but after he got done ordering, I was like, "Excuse me." I was like, "Could I ask you what your name is?" And he's like, "Travis." And I was like, "Oh man, I mean, it's nice to meet you, man. Like I'm a big fan of yours. You know, like he's one of the best. He's probably the best. Him and George Kittle is best tight end in the league, and he's one of the greatest tight ends of all time. You know, I respect his game a lot." I was like, "It's good to meet you, man." He said, "You know, same stuff. He's a nice guy." And the other people started coming up and like asking for pictures and stuff, but it wasn't like, what's good about it is not everybody came up and bothered him. It was kind of like a dad sent his like little girl to go get like a selfie with him or something, and he did it. Like it was a cool little thing. Not everybody went up and bothered him, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like those are just once in a lifetime opportunities. You know, if I have this thing. I listen to Joe Rogan. I don't know if you do. Okay, I listen to Joe Rogan, and he was talking about people coming up, and while he was eating with his family, like they would come up and bother him, and like he said, like just wait till after I'm done eating. And someone who was on the podcast with him was like, you know, I used to do that, but then somebody told me one day, you know, this is probably going to be the first and last time I ever meet someone like you.
Right.
You know, and so then ever since that guy got that message, he's been taking pictures with him and stuff, you know, because it really is like people like us, we don't get that opportunity. I'm not gonna see I'm not in L.A. I'm in St. Joseph, Missouri.
Right.
Well, I'm gonna see like four people on the stoplight, like four people at the stoplight with a box cutout, asking for food or something, like, you know, or money or something, you know.
That's
like,
funny because last week Kai calls me, or maybe this week or something. She calls me and is like, starts giving me this Chiefs name. It wasn't a Chiefs player's name. He's like, he's here at Target. And I'm like,
Chris Jones, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
But he gave her a fake name. And once she took the picture, she's like, that is like Chris Jones. And she sent me the picture. I'm like, that is Chris Jones.
Yeah. Yeah.
He didn't either way. He gave her a fake name. But he took a picture with her still.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like, I'm like, wow. Like,
he probably
didn't want to be messing with her. He like $1 that day. The other guy, whoever, she said she didn't know who the other one was. I think she said, I can't remember who it was, but he hopped in the car real quick. He didn't want to be involved with none of this stuff.
Especially around these parts, though. I mean, this is the kingdom. You know, this is right around the kingdom.
Right.
At 45 minutes away is the kingdom. So I don't know. Who's the greatest basketball player of all time?
You know.
Is it King James?
No.
It's MJ?
It's MJ.
Because he's 6-0?
No. That's who I grew up watching.
You know what?
That's
I like when people, they don't just allude to the stats. They say it's because of my generation. Yeah. That's what I like. I like people like.
That's what
like
a lot
you.
of people like. Say like my dad says that Chamberlain was the best player. I'm like, I can't say that.
Yeah, you didn't watch him.
I never got to see Wilt Chamberlain play. Like, I can't. People say like he's the best one. I'm like, I can't say that because I never got to see him play. But not in person. I'm just saying, watch him on TV or whatever. But
watching the highlights is different.
Right.
You're watching the highlights is all the ups. What about the downs? Like, what about what sets up the highlight? You know, things like that. Especially as a coach, you can analyze things differently than what just casual people watch.
MJ was just a dog. Like, man, like
he was different.
He's very different.
Just I know The Last Dance doesn't tell it all, but man, like just his mentality. He has that mentality, like how he's just planting scenarios in his head to get mad at you. Like, yeah. That's like me coming and playing pickup basketball at Krug and just being like, yeah, that dude in the white shirt called my mom a bitch. Just shit like that, you know what I mean? And then just getting mad at his ass and dropping he averaged like dropping 30, you know? So
you're not human if you can go play 36 rounds of golf or 18 holes and then go to your game and score 40 or 50 points. There's something special about you. Like, if you know what I mean, like, that's hard to do. Like, and who, not getting into his personal life, but like, He would go gamble all night and then go play the next day like it's nothing. Like, and bet on himself.
Yeah. Yeah. And he'd be like, okay, so you get you have a lot of money. You don't have very much money. I want to bet 10,000 a hole with you, and I want to bet $100 a hole with you.
Like, I just heard the story. Like, I don't know. He's playing with the professional golfer like back when he was playing, and they went and played 18 holes. They bet so much money, and the professional golfer won, of course. So Mike said, "Let's run it back." So they wanted to play another 18, and the guy was like, I can't remember the golfer's name, but he was like, "You have a game, Mike."
Yeah.
So he said, "We drink beers and everything. Like, he said we drink a couple beers and we play." So we ended up playing 36 holes, and he said after that, like, he won again. And then the dude said, "You're not gonna be worth shit tonight. You won't." He told him how many points he's gonna have. Mike said, "I bet I have 40 something."
I bet you all what we just won.
That's what
I bet you all what you just won.
They bet it back.
Is that what they did?
Yep. He said, "I'll bet you that money that I just paid you." And I wish I knew the golfer name.
I'm gonna look him up. Go ahead and keep talking about it.
Then he was just like, then he said, Mike goes out and hits like 45, and like it's nothing. I want to say it's like at Madison Square Garden in New Jersey, somewhere they were playing at that night too. It was just unbelievable. Like there's not too many people that can do that. Go play 36.
Jeremy Rennick.
Yep.
He Michael Jordan once had a monster game after playing 36 holes and crushing beers with Jeremy Rennick. Michael Jordan's story is just the best, I think. Let's get to the story. So Jordan often hit the links for 36 holes in the morning and early afternoon before games in the evening, and he still had the second highest scoring average on the team. I mean, that was for yeah, it was Jeremy Rennick though, and it says it was $1 million, I think.
Must be nice.
Yeah, it was. I think it was $1 million. I think he might have bet $1 million or something. I don't know. Either way,
Jordan just had that
mentality
like that. I'm not going to lose. I'm going to do anything I can to win this, and like, they brought along Pippen, man. Like, Pippen started becoming one of my favorite players because he did it all. Like, and that's. But I'll get into that, like, because Pippen is the first LeBron. He's the first point forward that I've seen, like.
The stretch four.
Yep, that could play the point guard. And he did it in the triangle for the Bulls. And that's how all these other guys developed, like these stretch fours become point guards because that's just my mentality on the way I see it, like, because, like, the Bulls, their forward was their point guard, and that was Pippen. Like, but Pippen, he did it all. Like, he scored, he played defense. Like, he was Jordan needed him. Don't get me wrong, Jordan needed him.
Yeah.
If he didn't have him, I don't know what would happen with Jordan, but Jordan is the best that I've watched. But now, like, my guy's Braun, of course. Like,
yeah.
Of course, but
the more I become a fan of basketball, like, I'm a big fan of basketball. The more sometimes I think about our locker room or our library debates, and I'm like, if I think about the word loyalty, I think of when I said LeBron, when I was in your library and I said LeBron wasn't loyal, and then you would tell me he was loyal to his contract. He was loyal to his contract. That's all he needed to be loyal to, and it really was. Like, I was just dumb back then. I was probably messing with you a little bit.
You were,
because I like LeBron. Here's the thing: a lot of people, Dennis thinks I hate Giannis. I don't. I fuck with Dennis about Giannis. I'm like, Giannis is, man, come on now, but Giannis.
Like, that's how sad it is with me. Like, he doesn't like Bron, but he knows Bron's good. Mm-hmm. Like, so he'll just start a debate with him, start arguing with me over it. Like here we go. Like, like right now, so like that's what makes us fun. That's why me and him get along so well. Like, we have debates like that.
Yeah. A thing is with the LeBron and MJ GOAT debate, because I think those are the two GOATs. I think those are the two. I mean, LeBron. It's insane how great LeBron is, and I get losing in the finals is bad, but making it to 10 straight or whatever it was, like he's 4-6 or 4-7, isn't he? Something like that. I don't know. Either way, that's 11 or 10 finals, and there's a lot of players that are 0-0.
You want to make it to, like, you know how many NBA players just want to make it to one final?
Yeah, Damian Lillard would probably trade his whole
right.
He would trade whatever to get to the finals one time. to be a champion. Right. And people are so used to greatness that they debunk it. LeBron lost to the Golden State Warriors dynasty 3 times, 2 of them with KD on there, 17 and 18. Mm-hmm. And then when Kyrie got hurt in 2014 or 15, yeah. And then he lost to the Spurs. He got swept his first year with the Spurs. He lost to the Spurs another time with the Heat, right?
Yeah.
And then Mavericks. The Mavericks was bad.
That was a short season, I think.
2011, was that the lockout season?
I think it was.
Okay.
It may have been, but still.
They won. That was bad. 2011, he had the meltdown. Skip Bayless says the chosen one became the frozen one. He's on LeBron's ass constantly.
That's why they're so good.
Yeah, because it's just polar opposites. Right. Skip Bayless, you know damn well, Skip Bayless. Come on, Skip. Right. Yeah, I love that. I listen to them every day. Right. But yeah, and I don't like that when people see greatness for so long, they want to just get used to it and they don't appreciate it as much.
Right.
Like LeBron's been to the finals 10 or 11 times. Yeah, well, he's only won 4. Okay, that's tough to do. His competition was tough to do. It was the East. It's easy. LeBron made it look easy, in my opinion. I mean, I get it. It wasn't like the West, of course. But, there were some tough teams. Like Chicago Bulls with Derrick Rose. That's a tough team. Like, that was a tough team. The Atlanta Hawks, or the Raptors. The Raptors were good. They were good. They call it LeBronto.
Right.
You know how bad that is?
Right.
To be that good in the regular season and be called LeBronto? And then he goes out of the East and you win the championship? Like,
I don't know. I don't see why people hate Bron so much. Like, I hear that he flops, like, but what NBA player doesn't flop?
Now, yes. Yeah.
I just had
to flop.
Yeah, I'm like, why? Like, but my personal opinion is it's hard to ref LeBron. He's like reffing Shaq. Yeah. Because, like, Bron's so big and strong, like, contact doesn't bother him. Like, so he has to act it out.
You ever see when, like, Marcus Morris, like, grabs his shoulders and pulls him down as on a fast break, and he still just gets the fucking nail away? Yeah.
I mean, like, and people say, oh, he flops, he acts like, what NBA player doesn't do that? That's part of their game. Yeah. You have to do that. Like
manipulate the refs.
Like you said earlier, they rip through to get a foul. Like, all that stuff is part of the game. Just trying to get to the line, like, and it makes their stats look good because it's not an attempt.
Right.
Once they get to the line,
Yep. LeBron is kind of a shitty free throw shooter now. I don't know what happened.
He's terrible, man.
I don't know what happened. He's using
my friend Jimmy always says, man, find these dudes.
For missing free throws?
Missing free throws, find them.
Man, LeBron just reached $1 billion. He don't care about no fucking fine.
But Giannis and his free throws, like, he's averaging an air ball on every free throw, seems like.
Yeah. And then he goes 17 for 19 in the game 7.
Yeah. He was, man,
he was insane in that game.
That's
50 points.
He wasn't going to lose that game. Like, the way he played, he was just... You can tell he was, I'm not going to let us lose. Like, it wasn't even just the scoring. It was like, he was guarding. Like, he was running down everything. Like, even if it was goaltending, he's like, I'm here.
Oh, man.
I love players you're not getting
like
a layup.
I love players like that. That dog, the unleashed energy, the unrelentingness, everything. Giannis just, man, 50
Think
points.
about this. He's 26 years old.
And he's got 2 MVPs, right? Does he have 2 MVPs?
I don't know how many MVPs he has, but he's got an MVP.
He's got an MVP. He's got a depoy. He's got a ring. He's got a Finals MVP.
There's only 2 people that's done what he's done.
He's got all-star appearances. I don't know how many. And he is only 26 years old. He could be the GOAT. He could be a GOAT. If he.
What impresses me about him even more is, like, he didn't start playing basketball until he was in 8th grade.
Yeah.
He's 26 years old. He has another 10 years.
Yeah.
I'm saying 10 because
not everybody's LeBron.
But I'm thinking that's where the game's going. People are going to.
Well, they're taking care of their bodies more.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
They're taking care of their bodies.
LeBron, Russell Wilson, Tom Brady, they spend millions on their bodies every year.
That's what people are going to start doing, is taking care of their bodies more to extend their years. But like Giannis, he's won an MVP, he's won a Defensive Player of the Year, and he's been a league MVP or Finals MVP.
And he won MVP and DPOY in the same year.
There's only been 2 other people that's done that.
Yeah.
which was Akeem and I want to say Jordan.
Yep.
Through their career, like that's.
Was it Hakeem or Kareem?
It was. I want to say it was Olajuwon.
Okay. Yeah.
That's hard to do. Like, man, there's only two other people that did it, and he just did it. Like, and those two guys ahead of him that did it before, those are great players.
Yeah. Yeah, there was a great finals this year. Like, I mean, there was no favorite. There was no, like, set favorite. People were rooting for Chris Paul to get his ring.
Man, I was so up and down that finals. Going into it, I was Suns all the way because I was like,
Chris Paul deserves it.
Ayton was the factor. Like, when they beat Lakers, I said, watch out for the Suns because Ayton is a guy, like, he's a factor. Like, because I knew Paul and Booker was going to do their thing, but, like, when Ayton was averaging 20 against the Lakers, I was like, he's going to be a factor. Then
he shrank a little. He shrank.
He got scared. That's what I say.
Got scared.
My stuff changed so much, and I was like, man, Bucks are going to win this.
Yeah.
And then I think then I was like, yeah, Bucks are going to win it.
4 straight. Even that so many. They are the mentally toughest team in the league, in my opinion.
They're tough.
I mean, 0-2 against the Nets, and then they beat them in 6 or 7. Beat them in 7, and it seems like they're always down in a series, and they come out and win. I don't know. It just always feels like they're. I don't know.
I like the other two. I like the role players. I like Middleton and Drew Holiday.
Drew Holiday put the clamps on CP. Had him averaging more turnovers than he did the whole playoffs.
And that's the thing about Drew Holiday. He's just he tries to wear the point guards down because he guards you.
He goes through full court press the whole game.
Right.
This man literally got done with the finals. The very next day or two, flew to Tokyo and then went full court press the night of.
And like had 18 or something that night, like just fresh off the plane. I'm like, gosh, like
freaks. They're all freaks.
Yeah, they are.
The Drew Holidays. You hear LeBron, you hear Drew Holiday, you understand how great LeBron is, and then players like Drew Holiday, who is, in my opinion, the most underrated player in the league, because he's always great, he's always good, but he doesn't get like the recognition like I feel like Kemba Walker gets more recognition than Drew Holiday sometimes, just because of the name, it's Cardiac Kemba, but yeah, I
think Drew Holiday's made his name through this finals, like
yeah,
it seems like a lot of guys in the league respect him. Like they're good with him. Like
yeah, but man, Russ to LA. Enough with this interview chat. Let's library this out.
All right, let's do it.
Let's library it out. I'm serious, man. I think the Lakers are gonna win the finals this year. And you know what they're trying to do? They're trying to get DeMar DeRozan.
They still trying to get him?
DeMar DeRozan said he's gonna take a pay cut. I think. And he'd be down to take a pay cut to go to the Lakers.
Well, a lot of people are like, my debate was said and stuff like he listens to Chris Broussard and all that, but like, Bron's not going to bring anybody to his team that's going to hurt him because he's like, they're ball dominant. Bron's ball dominant, and so is Russell. But Bron's trying to play off the ball now.
That's what I've been saying. He needs to play a little more off ball, preserve himself.
And that's what I think he's trying to do. And even Chris Broussard said that in his interview. He was like, when he was talking about it, he's like, I understand LeBron's trying to play off the ball more. Like, yeah, so they got a point guard now. And
before this trade happened, I was going to make a video on this Tanner Talks, and I was going to be like, here's why I think Russ is a better fit than Chris Paul. What I think the Lakers should do this year is, for game-wise, Russ should start. He's going to be the starting point guard, but bench him a little bit earlier than like LeBron and AD. Russ makes all of his teammates better. I don't care what the narrative is. He makes all of his teammates better. You don't average double-digit assists without making your teammates better. I'm just telling you that.
He's Oscar Robertson.
Yeah. So whenever LeBron and AD need some rest, put them on the bench. Let Russ go out there with the second guys.
That's what I think ought to happen. That's another thing that will happen is like LeBron will be the point when Russ is out.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Like he's got to be ball dominant. No, once Russ gets his rest, that's when Bron comes in there, and that's when Bron takes the point. But when if they're in there together, Russ will be the point.
And Russ can play a bunch of games in the regular season. He does load manage a tiny bit, not as much as like Kawhi or like someone like that. But he plays a lot of games in the season. So throughout the season, AD needs to load manage to stay healthy for the playoffs. LeBron needs to stop. I get it; it's for the fans and whatever. But dude, that's why you was gassed out in the playoffs. You know, you need to take a break. Russ is there, I think, to alleviate the pressure off them and give them some rest time for the playoffs, so they can have a longer run. And adding DeMar DeRozan doesn't help the shooting, but what's good about LA is that a lot of shooters that are in free agency will take pay cuts to go play for them, so they don't have to worry about shooting. Right, as of right now, anyways.
Right.
I think that's what makes the situation kind of special.
I heard Melo's name once.
I heard Melo and who else was it? Rudy Gay. Melo and Rudy Gay. Both their names came up. I think this is just like LeBron's attempt to, all right, I'm trying to get these players their rings real quick. Like, Russ deserves a ring. DeMar DeRozan, he was very close to getting rings if it wasn't for LeBron.
I think Bron wants one more.
I think LeBron wants 6 more. I mean,
I think he'll be happy with one more.
What would he be? He would be 5-11, 5-10, I think. That's not bad.
Not bad at all.
It's not bad, man.
It's not bad at
15
all.
finals. That's what it feels like. Shit, man. He's like 4-7, 4-6, I think, maybe. I don't know. Either way, I'm excited. I want to go to a Lakers at Thunder game. I want to go to a Lakers because I want to see the GOAT play live. My GOAT play live, LeBron, and I want to see Russ play. I like seeing Russ play, and yeah, so I want to go. And maybe I'll hit you up whenever if I'm getting tickets and we can see what's up. But I'm excited. I am excited. Maybe they'll get a JJ Redick. I think he's a free agent.
He wanted to be up on the East Coast.
Are you sure you wanted to be on the East Coast?
Where's he at now?
They traded him. He went from the Pelicans to, was it Charlotte? And I thought he wanted to be, I don't know where he went actually.
I thought that he wanted to be on the East Coast. They sent him somewhere else.
Yeah, he wanted to be I think he did want to be closer to. He was at Philly. I think he got no.
Yeah, I think you're right now. You say it.
Yeah, he sounds off on the New Orleans front office because of the trade to Dallas. He got traded to the Mavericks, and he didn't want to be. He wanted to be closer to his family. And I think he was right. I talked to Griff. I talked to Trajan. Griff basically says to me, come down for a month. If you still want to get traded, I'll give you my word. I'll let you go to a situation that you like. Again, my agent talked to them, but I'm talking to Griff directly. Griff and I have a personal relationship. He didn't honor my word. I think he did want to go to the East Coast. Yeah, I think you're right. I think Boston, like somewhere up there. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But shit, L.A. for the family for 1 year? Come on, you got money.
Any chance to get a ring? Like these veterans that are on their way out, kind of.
That's all they want.
That's all they want. And that goes back to like all I want. Like people just want to get one ring. Like, and Bron's had been to these finals and stuff. Like, I don't know.
Chris Paul don't care. He said now he don't care. He said fuck it. I just want $100 million, 3 years.
How they gonna do that?
Don't know. Who? Lakers or the Suns?
Suns.
I don't know. I'm not doing 3 years with Chris Paul.
And
he's
getting into
2 years
Ayton's money, right?
Huh?
They said he's getting into Ayton's money.
Probably.
That's why they said he's going to take a pay cut.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not paying Chris Paul that much money. I'm just not. Too old, choked in the playoffs. He's trash. Nah, he's not trash, but man, I don't like all this. I don't know. I don't like when we compare. I don't know.
They're comparing them to.
They're comparing him like.
Why?
Like they be saying like the worst comparison. Not even this. Getting off a little topic. The worst one is Derrick Rose and Russell Westbrook. Stop comparing those two. I don't want to hear the what ifs. I don't want to hear if Derrick Rose never got hurt, he would be way better than Russ. Shut the fuck up. I don't even care. Like, that is not how that works. Derrick Rose's best year is nothing close to Russell Westbrook's best year. We like it because it was sexy, it was flashy, he's doing windmills and yamming on everyone. Russ was doing that same shit, and he did it longer.
The thing about Russ, why I like Russ, I mean, he's on a different level. Like he plays so freaking hard. Like,
no, he only got one gear. He got park and he's got six.
Oh my god.
He's like the Tasmanian devil, and it does get irritating to watch as a fan sometimes because he's a very hype motivated player. If he comes down and dunks and the crowd's going nuts, you best believe he's gonna pull up a 3 on that next possession.
That's so
to
funny.
try to get the
and
crowd.
It might be an airball, and you just start laughing. Like, that's why I like it about it because he plays so hard, and
you never know what's gonna happen.
You don't.
It's fireworks. It really is. That's why I like. He's who got me to fall in love with basketball. That's why I love him so much because it was him and KD left, and I still wanted to be an Oklahoma fan, and then Russ was there, and he kind of embraced it, and that was my first game was him versus like the Dwayne Wade, the Rajon Rondo, and the Jimmy Butler Bulls. And, I mean, yeah, he got me to fall in love with basketball for real, or like just the NBA. So that's why I just follow him now.
Yeah.
But
he's going back home, though. He's going back to LA.
He'll retire for the Thunder. He'll sign like a one-day contract or something.
He liked it there?
Huh?
He liked it?
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like that's like his second home, I mean, all the fans love him and embrace him, and they didn't treat him like they treated KD. But KD's... and they're comparing this Russ trade to the KD trade, or to the KD signing to the Warriors. I don't know if you've seen that.
Huh?
Not the same at all.
No, it's not.
You got Kevin Durant. So you got Russell Westbrook, who preferred his destination to be to LA, and he got traded to LA. And you have Kevin Durant, who had the Warriors down 3-1 in the Western Conference Finals, choked it, left Russ and the Thunder to join that same team.
That's what I say to everyone. Like, why?
And on that team is Steph Curry, who's a back-to-back MVP and a unanimous MVP. And then you have one of the greatest shooters of all time next to him in Klay Thompson, and you have a depoy in Draymond Green with the great coach Steve Kerr. Come on. Not the same. Stop it. Noah Barksdale was saying it was the same thing. Boots saying it's the same thing because he's a KD fan.
So what if they get Dame, the Warriors?
The Warriors get Dame? That's tough.
Isn't that like...
That's tough.
Isn't that like kind of like... I'd say it's not fair, but like it's...
Because they're going to be pulling up from half court?
That's like
both
3
of
the
them?
top 10 shooters in the league, right?
I know. They're going to be averaging like 90 each. Like 90, or not 90 each, but all 3 are going to average 90 a game. What would you do in that situation? You put Dame at the 1 and let Curry be the 2? That's what I would do.
I would.
Curry, all he has to do is shoot. That's dangerous. That's 35 a game.
Dangerous for all 3 of them. Like, and Steve Kerr has good plays for him. Like,
yeah, I like seeing the plays he draws up.
I do too.
Yeah. Oh man. Well, Coach, I appreciate you coming on. I'm glad we got this one going and everything. And is there anything you want to say? I think I'm gonna go Lakers beat the Nets in the finals in 6. That's what I'm gonna say.
6?
Lakers in 6 over Nets, the finals. Russ gets his ring, and everyone else can shut the fuck up. Because I'm gonna put anytime anybody talks bad about Russ, it's gonna be him kissing his ring.
Okay, Russ.
It's gonna be like that. What you got?
It's gonna be Lakers. I'm gonna say the Bucks are getting back there.
Lakers and Bucks. Oh, well, if that's the case, we got Lakers in 4.
4? Sweet. Okay, I like that.
Well, okay, gentlemen, sweet. I'll give Giannis his hustle a game, but yeah, Coach.
Gotta go through Milwaukee.
Yeah, you think so? Well, yeah, they are gonna win hella games.
I don't know, but like,
Game 6 is at LA.
The factor for the Nets is Harden.
Yeah.
So I don't know, like,
if the Nets can stay healthy,
right?
Then it's. But that's the if.
I think Harden's like. I like KD, but KD's just a shooter to me. I don't see him being a leader really or anything, but like I think Harden is more like he's the glue of that team.
He upped his value a lot by going to the Nets because a lot of people.
He's a totally different player than he was when he was the Rockets.
A lot of people just saw him as a scorer, and he went to the Nets, and he's averaging double-digit assist, getting any bucket he wants. He's playing a little bit of defense. I like it.
I like him. I like him more than I did when he was with the Rockets.
Yeah. But shit, Coach, I appreciate you coming on. I'm glad we got it all going and shit. Let's go. Lakes and 4.
Lake Show.
Appreciate it, Coach.
Yes, sir. Anytime.
Yeah, thank you guys for watching Tanner Talks. Back at it. New house, new setup. Everything's going to get a little upgraded more as we go. But season 2, let's get it.
Yes, sir.